Hello. Welcome back to my channel. I am the Caribbean Queen, and I'm inviting you to come along with me on my journey of self-discovery, healing, and overall well-being. If you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you for subscribing and deciding to take this journey with me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am going to be discussing my AIP journey. I'll be sharing recipes, what I eat on a daily basis, and just overall life and how it impacts me and how I cook for my family, just life in general. So come along with me. Today I'm just going to be discussing my previous experience with the AIP diet, how it really helped me, and just discussing what the AIP diet is and how you can segue into the AIP diet. In my previous video, I mentioned that I had done the AIP diet before. Yes, I started the diet back in March of 2019 when my functional medicine doctor suggested that she thought this would be the best option for me based on the lab results and what was going on with my body in terms of autoimmune disorders at that time. So yes, again, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's back in 2013, and that was pretty much coming along. My thyroid levels were better under control, and things were going well in terms of that, but then my body was starting to show other issues and I had a lot of inflammation. And as we know, inflammation is the body's way of dealing with autoimmune diseases, right? That's when your immune system is trying to fix what's going on internally. Yes, it's attacking the good cells. Unfortunately, it can't tell what are healthy cells and what are bad cells. So it's attacking, and inflammation is like a byproduct per se of the body trying to rectify what's going on. Unfortunately, my inflammation levels back in the beginning of 2019 were really high, and my doctor, there was cause for concerns. So I started the diet March of 2019. I just went like full head on. She told me about it 1 week. I prepped and got ready for it over the weekend, and Monday morning I jumped in head on. Okay guys, I have to be transparent. Yes, the food list for AIP, the yes list and the no list is very long. It's extreme. But I don't drink alcohol, but coffee is my thing. So I had to find coffee substitute because I don't do tea. But in any way, I'm just saying I'm not perfect. I try to follow the AIP diet to the letter, but there are times when I just have to get my coffee fix. So I would go from maybe 1 cup of coffee 7 days a week to maybe 1 cup of coffee 4 times a week. So I would pick and choose, and I would use it like a mind game. Oh, I'm going to reward myself today and have my coffee. So I started the diet in March of 2019, and in the first 3 months of doing the diet, I lost 11 pounds. Let me just clarify. Do not think that the AIP diet is the end-all be-all to solving your weight loss issues. Weight loss is a benefit of being on the diet, but at the same time, the main goal of the diet is to heal your body, right? Using foods high in nutrients and just kind of pulling away from foods that cause inflammation to kind of give your body time to detox itself and rejuvenate those cells and rebuild what was missing. When I first saw that I had lost 11 pounds, it was tremendous. I mean, I cannot even describe what I was feeling. I was just ecstatic. I couldn't wait to call and share the information with my doctor because, like I told you before, I had done every possible diet. The cabbage soup diet. I mean, I had done Jenny Craig. I had done Weight Watchers. You name it, I had done it. And the benefits were great for like the first 2, maybe 3 weeks, and then back to me plateauing. But remember, I discussed the fact that I had so many food sensitivity issues that my body was just responding to everything. So it liked me introducing new things, and it responded to that. But then after it got used to those new items or the change in how I ate, it just kind of went back to, or reverted back to what wasn't working in the past. I also mentioned that I couldn't remember if I had diverticulitis or diverticulosis. I clarified, I checked my notes, and it was in fact diverticulitis. Keep in mind, guys, anything ending in itis means inflammation. Here we go again. So it's inflammation of the pouches of the stomach, mainly the large intestines, and of course, the flare-ups, as they will call, will cause the pain and discomfort. So if you have a flare-up and you give yourself time by pulling away from certain foods, like they suggest you drink a lot of beef broth or chicken broth, bone broth, high nutrient kind of broth, and you just reintroduce things slowly, you pull certain things out of your diet, it would help to minimize the inflammation, and then that pain and discomfort does go away. To recap, with the autoimmune diseases, we know some of the common symptoms are inflammation, itchy skin, joint pain, just a slew of side effects, right? So again, prior to me starting the AIP diet, I went to a naturopath doctor out here in my area, and the way that she tests the body is with electrodes. And so leaky gut, inflammation, and autoimmune disorders were definitely high on my list after I went through that session with her. So she did ask, like, what was my main goal of coming to her? And I mentioned, well, healing the gut, because we know the gut controls everything in our body, right? And I felt like if I focused on healing my gut, I would do so much better with handling all the other things that I was going through. So at that point, she recommended a 6-month program to detox and heal the gut. And it included items like supplements, of course, diet, exercise. And so what I did is I followed this Thrive 63 program. The Thrive diet it came in 3 phases. Phase 1, 2, and 3. And then each phase had different supplements and basically foods that you can have. So again, it had like menus, it had recipes, and then most importantly, a food log. So I had to list like what I had for breakfast, what I had for snack, what I had for lunch, what I had for dinner, and then what I had for like after dinner snack in the event that I had one. It also gauged like, what were your emotions at that time? Were you super hungry? Did you feel blah? Did you feel tired? Were you fatigued? So it had like a range of like the emoji faces, and you circle it. And then whenever I would go back to my naturopath doctor, I would take my log with me, and then we would discuss what I ate, how it made me feel, how my body responded, and of course checking to make sure that I was taking the supplements and following the regimen as prescribed. So that worked really well, and I did see some improvement, but it totally did not eliminate some of the major issues: the bloating, the gas, the diarrhea or constipation. It would vary based on individuals, right? I'm trying not to go into detail with that because a lot of people consider that, too much information. So, But those are issues I was still having, right? The little puffy marks on my face, itchy back. Sometimes I would have like a little rash right here on my collarbone. So it varied. The pain and stuff in my stomach was not as intense, but I was still having food sensitivity issues. In as much as the Thrive program was amazing, I still had a lot of food sensitivity and a lot of things that the program suggested was actually what was causing my problems. So like it had a really good banana nut muffin on there, but I'm allergic to tree nuts. So the walnuts and using almond flour was not an option, right? And then strawberries or the berries in general to make smoothies, that was an issue because again, my body was reacting to the berries. So it was just a matter of finding something that would really work well for me. And guys, AIP was it. Let's get into Autoimmune Protocol diet. Autoimmune Protocol provides nutrients that helps the body to regulate our immune system, our hormones, gut health, while removing inflammation causing stimuli and healing the body. That's the primary goal of AIP. AIP provides balance and complete nutrition while avoiding processed and refined foods. So we know processed foods are foods that are mechanically enhanced, and unfortunately, it removes nutritional value. Some of those foods are cereal, rice, all the yummy things we really enjoy, right? Bread. And unfortunately, you can't have this on this diet anyway, but it's amazing that we don't think about those things. We just consider them staples and we tend to gravitate to buying those items. That's why I've often heard that the best way to shop is on the outskirts in the grocery aisle, right? You don't go down the aisles, you shop on the outskirts because that's where you find like all your produce and your meats, but I'll get into that later when I discuss the AIP list. AIP diet promotes sufficient sleep, minimizing stress and activity. And then it also wants you to like pack your body with superfoods, right? So organic meats and vegetables, just those are the main go-to because we know that with organic foods, you're minimizing the possibility of pesticides and chemicals used to grow the fruit, vegetables, and of course what they feed the animals from which we get our meat. So again, AIP is all about infusing the body or nutrient-rich foods that would help promote healing and balance. AIP in general is an elimination diet. It is not meant for you to live on this diet for the rest of your life. However, in terms of myself, when I did the diet for almost a year, again, yes, I did have slip-ups, but it wasn't to the point where I was like overdoing it and just going buck wild on eating and just binging, right? So I would have my treats on certain occasions, or if I splurged on, let's say, a hamburger and fries, then I knew that for the next 3 or 4 weeks, I could not indulge in anything that was not on the AIP list. Unfortunately, I stopped doing AIP like around the time when COVID hit, so like in April of 2020, and I would still do it in moderation, but it wasn't like 100% strict following the diet. I still used my pantry supplies that I had, but I would like add a little extra. Maybe I use paprika instead, or a little cumin, and sometimes I definitely would make my curry. But what I'm trying to express is that it's supposed to be an elimination diet, right? You're supposed to do it for maybe a minimum of 3 months and then slowly reintroduce foods back into your daily eating. And then you would see how your body responds. Unfortunately for me, my body was not responding to the reintroducing of the foods. I would do well, and then I would notice like the joint pain or the little swelling that I would have. And then I would be forced to revert back to eating super clean, all my nutrient dense foods, inundate my body with superfoods, and of course still take my supplements to make sure that I was getting the minerals and the nutrients that if I couldn't get it from food, I was definitely getting it from my supplements. 4 components to the AIP diet. The first is nutrient density. The immune system needs vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fatty acids, and amino acids to heal and promote health. Number 2 is gut health. Unfortunately, leaky gut aids in autoimmune diseases. So macronutrients help with gut deficiencies, and it helps to promote good microorganisms in the gut to promote healing. The third factor is hormone regulation. A variety of foods affect our hormones and how it interacts with the immune system. For example, sugar or grazing. Who'd have thought that grazing rather than eating one full meal at one particular time would affect how our hormones regulate with the immune system? Fourth factor that AIP affects is our immune system regulation, right? By regulating our immune system and forming the barriers in our gut, and having healthy gut helps to also promote healing from within. Those are the 4 main factors of the AIP diet, right? And it also holistically promotes minimizing stress, a really good sleep pattern. An example of that is when I met with my doctor virtually a few months ago to go over all my labs and everything. She was asking me, well, how much sleep do you get? And I said, it was like deer in headlights kind of thing, because I fall asleep, but I don't stay asleep. And she was expressing to me the importance of getting really good sleep between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And so I try now to go to bed at a decent time to let my body unwind, kind of shut my mind off, to promote me getting really good sleep between those hours, to help with healing my body and, just regulating everything in my body. AIP, it stresses part of the regimen is not only eating my macronutrients, but to get really good sleep, to minimize the amount of stress that we deal with on a daily basis, to get some activity going, whether it's walking or light cardio or doing some weights, whatever you like, are the factors that make up doing the AIP diet and promoting good health. So guys, thank you for joining me today. I will continue in my next vlog on discussing the do's and the don'ts, or rather the food list that accompanies the AIP diet. Get ready. It's a long list and it can seem intimidating at first, but you will get used to it and you will remember. You would also know what you like, what you don't like, and you pick and choose and you put your meals together. So at first it's intimidating, but you will be okay. I promise you. Thanks for joining me today. Today was more information seeking. We'll get into the good stuff at the next vlog. And again, until we meet, don't forget to stay classy, cultured, and most of all, healthy. Bye, guys.